multiple Super Bowls together.
Montana going for the big bomb to Rice. What a catch by Rice.
What was it? Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. Gotta be up here. Got to. Legendary duo.
To telepathy-like connections that changed the game forever, these quarterbacks
Matt Ryan and Julio
defenses look completely helpless.
And this might be harder than I thought, bro.
But looking back, it does make you
realize
A-Rod
and
Adams,
Adams,
kind of partnership
I know they're
is
gonna be up here
actually
for sure.
incredibly rare. It's the type of connection where timing, trust, and talent all come together.
Yeah, this is gonna be harder than I thought,
fall
bro.
in love with football all over again. So today we're looking at some of the best quarterback
boy
wide
Ben.
receiver duos to ever play the game.
Ben and
we are
Brown.
starting off with a classic.
Kurt
When you
Warner
think
and
back
Torrey
to the
Holt.
greatest show on turf, everybody talks
What year was this? 1999 to 2003? Oh my goodness.
When you think
I don't
back
know
to
nothing
the
about
greatest
this,
show
bro.
on
I was
turf,
not born.
Everybody talks about Kurt Warner throwing to Isaac Bruce. But there was also another duo that was insane when they were both healthy. Warner and Torrey Holt. Big story in 1999 was how Warner got his big break when Trent Green got hurt. But during that same year, this rookie Torrey Holt walks into one of the craziest offenses ever and immediately starts making plays.
Pump fake. Holt.
Woo!
Touchdown.
What a pass!
Fake. Holt. Great catch.
Over two defenders. Perfect ball placement. Oh my goodness. That boy
Over the
fast,
next
ain't
few
he?
years, Warner's injuries meant that they didn't get as much time as they really should have, but when he was actually healthy, these two were unstoppable.
His routes were so crisp. He would juke the heck out of a defensive back, and you'd sit there wondering, how is this guy so wide open?
Holt was seriously underrated.
a
He
route
had
running
more receiving
technician.
yards than anybody else in the entire 2000s, including Randy Moss. He also had the record for most yards over the first 5 seasons of a career until Justin Jefferson recently broke it in 2024. I mean, they say numbers don't lie, and this guy had 8 straight years over 1,100 yards and 6 straight over 1,300 yards, which is crazy to think about. Together, they put up 247 catches, 4,090 yards, and 19 touchdowns.
Oh my
Warner
god.
trusted Holt from day one, and you could see it every Sunday.
What a
If you want
duo
to talk
there.
about
Oh, we
winning
already know this
championships
duo
and
was
flat
coming
out
too.
dominating when it mattered the most, you got to talk about Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin in Dallas.
Showtime.
Man, Michael
Aikman got
Irvin
picked
was something
first
else,
overall
man.
in 1989, and I got to be honest, his first couple of years weren't the best. Like, they were actually really bad. Irvin was already there, drafted 11th overall the year before, but it took a while for him to find his stride as well. When they finally got it together in that 1991 season, though, man, it was something special. Irvin was this crazy physical receiver who would go over the middle and
Ooh,
take
did
hits.
his shoulder pad just pop out?
Something special. Irvin was this crazy physical
What the fuck?
receiver who would go over the middle and take hits that would
Man, if
literally
that shit
put most
happened
people
now,
in the
they'll probably
hospital.
stop the
guy's
whole game and
highlights are
cancel it.
insane. He'd fight for every single yard and make catches in traffic that just didn't make sense.
There's a lot of guys that don't really want to take the big hit. Michael he would get hit by a truck.
From 1991 to 1995, these two made 5 straight Pro Bowls together and basically ran the
my
NFC.
God.
We're talking 5 straight years with at least 11 wins and 3 Super Bowl rings in just 4 years.
Woo!
They connected for 641 catches, 9,949 yards, and 54 touchdowns together. Now look, if you add Emmitt
Unstoppable.
Smith into this conversation, you might have
E.
the best
Smith was
trio
on there
ever.
too?
But just as a
Emmitt?
duo, they're probably not the best on this list, though when it came to winning games, these guys were
Yeah, that shit
incredibly
wasn't
clutch.
fair, bro. That shit just, it wasn't fair.
Now, Patriots fans would have loved a guy like Michael Irvin. They'd been complaining for years that Brady never really had those elite weapons. You know, he had guys like Deion Branch who were tough and scrappy, but nobody who could just blow the top off of defense. Then 2007 happened, and Randy Moss shows up in New England. All of a sudden, the Patriots could stretch any defense in the league vertically. It was like watching a completely different offense.
Here he is again, like a statue. in the
I'm pretty
pocket.
sure
He's
Randy
gonna go
Moss,
for
oh my
Moss.
God, look at that.
Moss has his
Bro,
first
this
touchdown
right
as a
here.
Patriot.
The The whole thing was really just like lightning.
They should have won a
bomb.
ring
Moss
together,
gets there
but
and
they
immediately
didn't
breaks the
because
NFL
Eli Manning
record
was
with
unstoppable.
23 touchdown catches in his
Let me
first
stop.
season. And remember, everybody thought
Yo, let
Moss
me
was
stop.
almost done at this point. Like, he was supposed to be at the end of his career, but even by 2010, he had enough juice to absolutely torch elite cornerbacks like Darrelle Revis with that ridiculous one-handed catch against the Jets.
Brady goes for the big ball to Moss.
Oh, I remember this.
Now, Brady and Moss only got a short window together. Brady got hurt during Moss's second year there, but man, when they were clicking, it was
Hey,
devastating.
Randy
for
was
opposing
looking back in his
defenses.
prime one of those years, though.
But sometimes the best partnerships aren't all about the fireworks. They're about just being really, really good together for a long time. Matt
Bro,
Ryan and
I
Julio
honestly
Jones
was
are
watching Julio Jones, and I thought he was the greatest receiver of all time. I'm not bullshitting, bro. Like, when I first started watching football and I was watching Julio, bro, he just looked unstoppable. Bro, it was nothing Julio couldn't do. Like, it was nothing Julio couldn't do when I first started. I really thought he was going to be the greatest
Example of
receiver
what
of all
happens when you
time.
get your franchise guy a
So I
top
learned a little
weapon,
bit of history, though.
actually keep them together. And don't get me wrong, they did have their fair share of great moments. Ryan got drafted third
But he
overall
was a
back
straight
in
dog,
2008,
though.
and look, he's probably not in the same conversation as some of the other quarterbacks that we are going to mention today, but Falcons knew that they had their guy in Ryan, and when Julio was there for the taking in 2011, they went and they got him. And man,
Bro, didn't Julio
was
used to
so
play like
worth it.
safety or some
This dude
shit?
was like your favorite receiver's favorite receiver. Just this insane athletic freak who could make catches that didn't even make sense half the time. He led the entire league in receiving twice and became the fastest guy to ever hit 10,000 receiving yards with Ryan throwing to him.
Oh, really?
Third and goal. Ryan looking. Back in
Bro, let's not act like this thing. Matt Ryan wasn't a demon, though. Yo, Matt Ryan was a demon.
makes the catch and breaks free from Josh Norman.
They
Yeah,
played
like,
from
you see what I'm saying?
2011
Like,
to
he would just break
2020,
tackles
just
like it's
building that
nothing.
connection season after season. And sure, Ryan to Roddy White was also great to watch, but Ryan to Julio Jones was just, it was on another level.
The thing about Julio
Peak
is,
entertainment.
he's what I like to call a mutant. There's no way that guy's normal.
The season that stands out the most is probably 2016 when Ryan won MVP and they made it all the way to the Super Bowl against New England.
That's
We
Matt
all know how
Ryan's
that
best
ended
year
up.
ever.
That sideline catch Julio made just summed up their connection perfectly.
He was looking like the best QB in the league, bro. He was looking like he could compete with Tom Brady.
Julio left as Atlanta's all-time receiving leader, and together these guys connected for 848 catches, 12,896 yards, and 60 touchdowns.
That don't make no sense, bro. That don't make no sense.
Now, Aaron Rodgers
this
had
duo
some
right
pretty
here.
good receivers to throw to as well. Jordy Nelson, Greg Jennings, Randall Cobb, but Rodgers and Devontae Adams were just ridiculous together in Green Bay, I will say. Not so much in New York.
Yeah,
but
this New York duo was horrible. This shit was terrible. He wasn't even targeting Adams like that. If I'm being real, he was really targeting what's that boy name? The other one. What's his name? What's his name? What's that boy? Garrett Wilson. He was really targeting Garrett Wilson more than Adams, though. Which I understand. Adams is kind of older. Garrett Wilson is like an upcoming star, so it makes sense. But you know what I'm saying? This duo didn't really thrive like that on the Jets at all, bro.
We're talking about a quarterback with maybe the best arm we have ever seen, hooking up with a route runner who could get open against anybody. By the time Adams showed up in 2014, Green Bay had already had a loaded group. That 2014 team actually had both Nelson and Cobb go over 1,000 yards, so Adams just had to wait for his chance. And it wasn't the most smooth start for Adams either. After Jordy got hurt in 2015, Adams had this absolutely terrible season, and people were almost ready to give up on him completely. But then after week 3 of 2016, the guy just flipped the switch and basically turned into Julio Jones overnight. Sometimes patience really does pay off.
Love you, baby. Love you, bro. You're the best. A guy like Vontae that got great hands and just knows what his quarterback wants.
Hey, bro, if you got Darius Slay complimenting you, bro, you got to be a beast.
Adams could create separation against anybody, and Rodgers had the arm talent to get him the ball anywhere on the field. According to Next Gen Stats, from 2016 to 2021, they had more completions on quick passes than any other duo in the league. Their last year together, Adams got 32% of Green Bay's targets, the highest rate for anybody running at least 200 routes. I guess it was
It's
just
crazy.
as fun for Rodgers to throw to Devontae as it was for us to watch them work.
Man.
But when it comes to fun duos, the next pair could be the
That's
best yet.
without a
I mean,
doubt
you've
the
got
best-
pure speed meeting
the best
Patrick
QB
Mahomes.
wide receiver
You're
duo
gonna
in
get
Green Bay
something
history,
pretty
bro.
special out of those two.
So you are one of, if not
not
the
even close.
fastest players in the league.
The fastest.
You're the fastest.
The fastest.
When Mahomes took over in 2018, he just put the whole league on notice immediately. 5,097 yards and 50 touchdowns in his first
Bro, I
year
thought he
in
was going to win the
Bucs.
Super Bowl
Hill
in
got drafted
2018, bro.
2016, but he barely played receiver as a rookie. 2017 was really his first year as a true wideout, and he was coming off a 1,183-yard season with Alex Smith throwing to him. So when Mahomes stepped in, Hill was ready to explode.
Mahomes winds it up wide open as Hill. How quick?
So Mahomes made him a
That
star.
2018 season was
He was
insane
already
for
good with
Mahomes.
Alex Smith,
Hill went
but
off for
Mahomes made him into that star.
1,479 yards and 12 touchdowns.
Ugh.
His best year until that ridiculous season with Miami in 2023, where he got voted as the #1 player in the NFL Top 100. When you've got one of the
What?
fastest guys to ever play the game running routes with Mahomes scrambling around, making these impossible throws, I mean, defenses just had no clue what to do. Sure, we got Travis Kelce out there doing his thing as well, but he's a tight
Bro,
end.
this
so
man is
maybe we'll
throwing
save
floaters
that
on the
for a
field.
video on
Like, what
another day.
defense is designed to
Together,
stop
Mahomes
those?
and Cheetah led Kansas City to their first Super Bowl of this whole dynasty, which makes it a little bit more surprising that the Chiefs let Hill just walk away.
Oh yeah, we
And
already
this
know
is another
about this.
couple of guys who could have stuck around for a whole lot longer. The 2010s had a ton of great quarterback receiver duos, but Big Ben and Antonio Brown in
They gotta be
Pittsburgh
up here,
were just
man. Got
consistently
to.
explosive in a way that was really fun to watch. We could easily talk about Roethlisberger throwing to Hines Ward as
Man,
well.
I
To be
miss
honest,
this
it's
shit,
really
man.
hard to beat Antonio Brown. AB came in at probably the perfect time because remember Roethlisberger got drafted back in 2004, but it took him a few years to really figure things out. In 2006, he actually led the league with 23 interceptions, and everybody was saying the defense was carrying him. But by 2007, he put it all together and became an elite quarterback.
Like, look at, bro, what quarterback you know is making this
Carrying
pass,
him.
bro?
But by
This is the Super Bowl, by the way.
2007, he put it
Look
all
at this.
together. And
A perfect pass, bro. This is a perfect pass over 3 defenders, sideline. Come on, nobody's doing that. That, bro, I don't care, bro. That's a top 3 pass in history. I don't care, bro. I
became
don't
an
care.
elite quarterback.
I don't care,
Brown
bro.
got drafted in 2010, had a pretty slow rookie year.
No
but
quarterback
by
is doing that.
2011, he was already making Pro Bowls. It was the perfect partnership because Roethlisberger could just buy time back there, and the guy was basically impossible to bring down, and he was so clutch in the biggest moments.
He will go over the middle and catch it in traffic. And with the game on the line, I don't know anybody better because Ben lives and dies on Antonio.
Pass to the end zone.
Duh.
Touchdown.
Top 2 receiver in the
Antonio
league.
Brown for the second time today. From the 10, Roethlisberger throwing end zone.
Look at him. Oh, my
Antonio
God.
Brown.
Oh, my. Yo, Antonio Brown could do literally
Prime,
everything.
Brown was the best offensive player in the NFL. The dude was always open. Like, it seemed impossible to cover this guy. He led the entire league in
he's-
receiving yards twice, and for a
his
while
route running
there, it
is
felt
just-
like he might just actually go after Jerry Rice's numbers.
He'd be Super Mario, just bouncing. That's kind of how he plays. Like when he's running his routes, he's like just bouncing from like, you know, to the hash to the 50-yard line.
Then Brown completely lost his mind, but that story's for another day.
Facts. Let's just move
It's hard
on
to beat
from
those
that, bro.
guys right there.
We
but
talk about
honestly,
greatness right
from
now.
a pure fun perspective, Matt
Oh,
Stafford
yeah, this was fun
and
to watch, too.
Megatron were about as good as
This
it
man
possibly
Megatron was a
gets.
monster.
You're gonna build the perfect
You
receiver.
couldn't
in a
guard him
lab, you'd
one-on-one.
probably
He
end
just
up
gonna
making
moss your
something
shit.
Pretty close to Calvin Johnson.
I'll tell you, folks, I have never in my lifetime seen a receiver with more God-given ability than Calvin Johnson.
He's everything everybody wants to be.
And if you needed
Even
a quarterback with
Tyrone,
the arm
after you
strength
give
and
him
that
bro
gunslinger
props.
mentality
I mean, you
to
have no
actually
choice,
get him
though.
the ball anywhere on the
I
field,
feel like
you'd create Matt
even
Stafford.
Seahawks Richard
like
Sherman
got a
would give bro
bazooka.
props.
Stafford became
Josh
the first
Norman?
overall pick in 2009, 2 years after the Lions had already grabbed Megatron in 2007. And right away, Johnson was basically impossible to stop. In his prime, he might have been the best receiver to ever play the game. Even when he was triple covered, he was
All right,
still
that
open.
might be a stretch. That might be a stretch.
Who took a hit firing for the end zone.
I ain't gonna lie, when you show clips like this, I don't know if that's a stretch. My fault. I might be talking on my neck. No, I ain't gonna. When you show clips like this, bro, never mind. This shit might not be a stretch. Oh my God.
The dude was built different. Crazy speed, size, strength.
Bro, how are you mossing three
took the
defenders?
best parts of every great receiver, put them all into one guy, and he still holds the single season receiving yards record with 1,964 yards. On top of that, Johnson's got the third most yards per game in NFL history at 86.1. The only guys ahead of him right now are Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, whose numbers most likely will drop over time. Sad part is that Johnson and Stafford both deserve Super Bowl rings. Stafford finally got one with the Rams, but Johnson retired without one. He didn't even win one playoff game. It's very easy to forget.
Yeah, bro,
how
his
bad the
talent
Lions
was
actually
wasted because of the garbage ass Lions, man. The garbage ass Lions, they couldn't get bro no help. Like
back then. In fact,
they couldn't get him and Goff no help.
19 yards and 83 touchdowns are the most ever for a guy with no playoff wins, which low-key might never get beat. But when you're looking for the absolute gold standard of quarterback receiver chemistry, Joe Montana and Jerry Rice are your guys. Two complete pros who basically showed everybody what championship football was supposed to look like in the 80s and early 90s.
You knew that if he saw the ball up in the air, he was going to go get it because it was his. Singled up, he's almost impossible to cover.
Montana got drafted way back in 1979, but he wasn't the full-time starter until 1981. Rice joined him in 1985 and had kind of a slow start as a rookie, but by his second year, he was already leading the league in receiving yards and touchdowns. Of course, you could argue
other
that
receivers
Steve
was
Young
in
and
the
Jerry
league at
Rice
this
were
time?
better together, but from pure nostalgia and championship perspective, nothing comes close to Montana and Rice when they were rolling. They connected for 386 catches, 6,710 yards, and 67 touchdowns.
I want to know what other
They
big
won
name
back-to-back
receivers
Super
were in the
Bowls
league at this time.
1989 and 1990, with Rice going off in both games. When these two were clicking, nobody in the league could do anything about it. They basically wrote the playbook for what elite quarterback-receiver chemistry should look like. Every great duo since then has been trying to match what these two accomplished.
Jerry Rice looked like a speedy
This
receiver.
last pair, they gave Montana and Rice a run for their money. I don't know if they quite made it there, but it was pretty close. Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison Sr. were basically reading each other's minds on the football
This
field
duo
in a
was
way that
hell,
we
though.
might never see
It was giving
again.
the league hell.
Once you get Marvin the ball, good things are going to happen.
Manning fires to the sideline. Touchdowns, Marvin Harrison. Manning fires to the end zone. Touchdown.
I don't know if Marvin Harrison Jr. going to be better than his dad, bro. His dad was a real
there's
stud,
never been
bro.
anybody quite like him. He was the ultimate field general who treated every snap like he was playing chess. Harrison was already there, drafted in the first round back in 1996. What made their connection so crazy was how they talked to each other, or sometimes didn't even need to talk at all, actually. It was like he and Harrison had this secret language that nobody else understood. Harrison was also refreshing because of how quiet he was, which was pretty refreshing in an era when you had T.O. doing the popcorn celebrations and proposing to cheerleaders, and Randy Moss just being Randy Moss. Harrison was just pure
Did he get
football.
fined for
This
that?
incredible route runner who could catch literally everything thrown his way.
From fake, and they go long for the first time for Harrison.
Woo! One hand?
Here's it out to Marvin.
Oh my God!
Their numbers were insane.
He's snagging shit with one hand.
953 completions for 12,766
Overhead.
yards and 112 touchdown passes. That's the all-time record for any quarterback receiver duo. It'll really be hard to top that, although if the Bengals can keep Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase together for a long period of time, they might have a good shot at this. Manning had great chemistry with Reggie Wayne as well, but it was nothing compared to what he
But
and
I could
Harrison
just see
built.
Chase getting
Montana
frustrated.
and Rice, Manning and Harrison,
might
Brady and
request a
Moss,
trade,
these
but
guys
I
are
hope
just some
not.
of the reasons we fell in love with football. When the best quarterbacks and receivers are clicking, there's nothing better to watch. Which of these guys do you miss watching the most? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you're new
Bro,
here, remember to hit that subscribe
obviously,
button.
bro,
I'm
me
gonna see you guys in
personally,
the next
obviously as a Steelers fan, I miss watching Big Ben and Antonio Brown, bro. Like, I used to watch them every Sunday. Just go off. Every single game, bro. This man, Antonio Brown, has, like, the greatest route running I ever seen on national television. I'm not trolling, bro. This man, Antonio Brown, would create separation out of anything, any route. Like, I don't understand how he would do it, but, I mean, it's Antonio Brown. So, I got to give him props, even though he went crazy. But Hey, it is what it is, man. I'm going to see y'all next video, and I'm out, man. Peace.